Hi, Devan. How are you?
Not too bad. How are you?
I'm doing good, Devan. So, how was your day so far?
Not too bad. I just had another interview right before this, so kind of went, yeah, had work and then came home, did that, and now here. So it's been great.
Wonderful, wonderful, Devan. So, Devan, your new album by the Moon and the Stars is to be out on August 2. So, would you like to tell me a bit on the songwriting and production behind this new album?
Um, like about the how we kind of been writing it, or
Yeah.
like how we yeah, so me and the other guitar player, Jess, we kind of met in university, and some people were like, "Oh, hey, Jess, you guys both play guitar. Like, you guys should like, start writing together." So we kind of did that, started doing that probably 2018. But our kind of like writing process is usually I'll start, come up with something like a riff or a melody or something, and we sort of just have like a Guitar Pro set up where we record everything, and then Jess and I will kind of like go back and forth, like doing our own things, and then listening to some stuff that the other person's wrote, and then we sort of will start like piecing things together, and then once we sort of got most of the song fleshed out, it's usually can get to a point where it's like, okay, this song seems pretty good, but we need, some sort of like a transition between these two sections. And it's like we kind of both know like what that's like sort of should sound like, but it's like, okay, well, now we got to go like dig in and like pick the actual notes that are going to be there. It's like, oh, this should be more like, keep the energy and like bring it up to this point, or it's like, okay, we kind of need to like bring things back and like just let it breathe a little bit. So that's kind of how we, yeah, do like the writing for like this album, and kind of just in general too. And then usually after that, once the whole song has like the guitars kind of like prepped, then we bring that to like the JP and Weston, and they kind of add on like the bass and the drum stuff, and then we sort of do like maybe a little bit of a rearrangement if they kind of think like, hey, like maybe we should like extend this part or like swap these two sections, and then the lyrics usually are kind of like it depends. Sometimes they come first and they're sort of like the inspiration.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're like added on after. Usually the intent of the song is kind of known in the first place. It's like, okay, this song's going to be, about feeling whatever, right? And it's like that kind of drives like the mood and the feelings, and then you add on the lyrics after. So yeah, that's kind of what we do.
Yeah, fantastic, fantastic. And while you were doing the songwriting, did you had some kind of thought process in your mind? Was there some kind of theme or a concept that goes behind it?
um I think not on purpose at first.
Mhm.
Like, I think usually, I mean, for us, it's kind of whatever's going on in our lives, or what's things that we've come across. I think, like, for us, like, a lot of it is like nature influenced. Like, for me, it's kind of just from going out camping and kind of being like, yeah, like in the woods, removed from civilization. You kind of have like some time to think and like sort of get this like calm like silence, that there's this kind of like sort of unique energy you get from that. But other things are just like, I mean, um like for example, for a star, that one's kind of like about like not taking for granted like the things that you have in life, because you can kind of get like really, you know into your daily routines, going to work and, you know just like kind of doing regular stuff, but you sort of forget to, care about like your loved ones, or like be passionate about your I don't know, like hobbies or other things like that, or like take time for yourself. So that's what that one is about. But in general, it's kind of just what's going on. I mean, I think for us, like after looking at the songs at the end of the album, it's sort of like, oh, these are like kind of guiding things in our life, and the music sort of is like gives us like a sense of purpose sort of thing. So that's why the album is called By the Moon and the Stars, because it's sort of like a it's like a direction, like sailors when they were traveling like in the past, they would use them as like their kind of guiding stars, right? So that was kind of when we looked at the songs, it's like, oh, okay, like that sort of fits into this theme, and it's a pretty cool name for the album. So that's kind of what yeah, that sort of the influence there was.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And speaking on the album 10, mind-blowing melodic death metal song, beautifully done, each and every song.
Thanks.
Okay, you're welcome. Each and every song is perfectly done. Like when you start the album, like you can't just stop. You just keep listening to the entire album. That's how I felt. Album. So
Yeah,
thank you guys.
that's awesome. Yeah, I'm really like really stoked to hear that. That's pretty cool. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you. And I really enjoyed the guitar part in particular. It's the way it progressed in each song. It's totally mind-blowing. So thanks for this awesomeness. And as a creator of this music, how do you guys feel about the outcome?
We're super happy with the way things turned out. I think just like from coming like from the EP and that kind of single that we did, that we've released, I think the sound on this compared to those previous recordings is just kind of a lot more complete, I guess, or like it just seems more polished. So we're super excited to just have the songs be, you can pick everything out a little bit better. You can, still have the drums there, and like you can hear the bass, and the guitars are kind of like layered on top. So being able to hear everything like really distinctly, I think that was really cool for us. And just kind of like listening back to it at the end is like, wow, okay, like we're we're pretty happy with this. I think the guy who mixed and mastered it, Victor Hugo, he's in Brazil. So our JPR bass player, he used to play in a band called Warkhurst. So he knows him from there, and he did an amazing job, just like mixing. And we spent a lot of time going back and forth. So we're super thankful that he was able to spend the time with us doing that. But I think, yeah, we're really happy with the way things turned out. I mean, it just feels like kind of more of a complete product, or like a cohesive kind of idea. And yeah, I think just happy to be finished and getting ready to release it now. Um,
Beautiful. And you have released your first single and video from this album, Reflections in the Water. Uh, Great work on this video and lovely
Thanks.
doing this. So, would you like to tell me a bit on the making of this video?
Oh yeah. So we filmed that kind of nearby Vancouver, like over in Coquitlam. So Weston used to live in, or sorry, Maple Ridge. Weston used to live over there. So actually, the locations are, that's our drummer. So the locations that we filmed out were some kind of like areas that he knew about and had explored when he was growing up there. And it's kind of, I mean, the song itself is sort of like about embracing and harnessing the kind of this sort of like silent sleeping power that you get from being like
Yeah.
out in nature. So that's kind of why we chose to do like the filming like over by that. There's like a river section there, and then kind of like a tree clearing. Um, And yeah, so there, I think Eric, who did the video for us, I think he did like an awesome job, like trying to make sure everything's pretty dynamic. We got actually some, I think there's some like drone shots and stuff like overhead of like the location. That was pretty cool to get those in there. I think it kind of made more of a complete video. But yeah, it's mostly just trying to like harness that kind of like natural power. And I think Eric Gustafsson, who filmed it for us, did like a really awesome job of just like trying to capture that. It's funny, there's the one shot of me kind of standing on the rock, like in the river. I had to like wade out there, so I had to like carry my guitar out there like overhead and like put it on the rock and then get up, and I actually had to take off my pants and then and like wade through the river. And we filmed it, I think, in April. We actually filmed that over a year ago, but it was pretty cold too. So I was pretty worried about not super worried, but worried I might take a tumble into the water, like standing up on there, especially when you're like headbanging and like trying to play at the same time. So yeah, but I think the mostly just the music video, just trying to capture that sort of like natural kind of beauty. The location, I think, does a really good job of that on its own. Um, yeah.
Fantastic.
Did you have maybe any other questions about it, or anything in particular that you were curious about?
Oh, no, they're not.
No.
I wanted to ask you in general. And
Yeah.
any plans to come up with more videos from this album?
We're working on a lyric video. We won't be doing any music videos right now. We don't have any plans for that, but we'll be doing a lyric video that we're just kind of working on right now for one of the other tracks. It's going to be for Terminus. Maybe a little spoiler there if anyone's curious, but yeah. So right now, just that, and then the lyric video.
Fantastic, fantastic. And any big plans for the day of the release on August 2?
Um, Actually, so on the release, I'm gonna be out of the country. I'm gonna be going over to Europe to do go check out some music festivals. But we're planning to do a release show at the beginning of October. So there's nothing happening right away when we do the release. But I think that'll kind of just give people maybe a little bit of time to check it out, and then maybe kind of find out about us if they haven't heard of us in Vancouver yet, and then they can come see us at the release show. That should be, I think, October 5th. And then we'll probably be doing, hopefully, a few dates. We're going to head out to Alberta and go to Edmonton and Calgary also in October. We're just trying to sort everything out for that. But after that, we don't have anything planned. I mean, I think there's some things we've been talking about, but we don't have anything like set in stone of exactly what we're doing. I think we have, yeah, probably maybe take some time to do some writing over the winter, and then maybe do a bit of touring, like maybe try and do a bigger tour like in the spring next year.
Gotcha. And any big plans for on the touring part to US or Europe?
Not yet. I mean, we've only really done like one smaller tour, just from Vancouver to like Kelowna and Kamloops, and then Edmonton and Calgary. So, I mean, we've definitely thought about it or talked about it, but there's nothing, yeah, nothing in the works as of yet. Maybe after the album comes out and people kind of hear about us a bit more, maybe we would think about doing that. But right now, maybe try and keep it in North America. But that's something I would love to do.
And like you stated earlier, the band just started in 2018, and 2019 you had your debut EP Ascension, and now this is your debut full-length album. So, how do you guys feel about the road that you have traveled so far?
I think, yeah, I'm definitely like pretty happy with all all the stuff that we've released so far. I mean, you can sort of see the, I think, progression like in the recordings, and I think even just like as a band as well, like we kind of, when we first started playing in like whatever 2018, our first show was like a battle of the bands with Journeyman Productions in Vancouver. So that was for like kind of new and upcoming bands, and we ended up winning winning the battle of the bands, and that was how we got the 3-song EP. So that was the kind of prize for the event. So that kind of let us do some recording, get that recording experience. We did that with Ryan Shepherd here in Vancouver, and then just kind of from there, we sort of, that kind of like really kicked us off, like of just people being like, oh, you guys are pretty cool. Like, do you want to come play here and play there or whatever? So hopefully, I think after, now that we're releasing a full length album, I think that'll be a lot easier to try and like go on tour, do some bigger stuff, maybe try and like play some festivals next summer, like in Canada. There's a few that I'd be pretty interested in like Armstrong Metal Fest, or like um, Loud as Hell, or maybe Decimate in Alberta. But who knows? I mean, maybe it could be even be stuff like down in the States or over to like Eastern Canada potentially, um, which would be pretty cool. So it's, I don't know, it's kind of uh, surprise, or yeah, maybe surprising. I guess when we first started playing, Jess and I together, I didn't really expect much to to come out of what we're doing, and now here we are 5 years later, like releasing a full-length album. Um, yeah, I kind of wish we would have maybe got to it sooner, but COVID sort of put a
Yes.
bit of a stop for us for like the 2 kind of years there. So it's good to kind of be back finishing everything off and now releasing, so we can move on and start doing some like writing some new material and work on the next album, because I think it was definitely like trying to get through what we'd already started before kind of moving on to like tackle new stuff, right?
Fantastic, fantastic. And would you like to share some of the highlight moments for the band?
I think for me, probably the first big highlight. I mean, obviously the first show we did, the Battle of the Bands there, but we opened for Omnium Gatherum and Black Crown Initiate and Allegaeon in Vancouver. So we got to play at the Rickshaw Theater here in Vancouver, which is sort of the one of the main venues for like traveling touring bands. So that was really cool to play there. I mean, I love all those bands, so like being able to play with bands that I'd listened to for like 3 or 4 years was just kind of like, this is crazy. So that was definitely the first highlight, and then maybe the other one would be this year we played at Hyperspace Metal Festival in Vancouver. So that's like a power, like melodic power festival. So we got to play at the Rickshaw again. We opened up the festival, but that time, instead of being like crammed right up to the front of the stage with like everyone else's like backline, like drum kits and amps and stuff behind us, we actually got to have like the whole stage, and that was pretty cool. Just to kind of feel more like a professional like touring band, I guess. Yeah, so I think those would be the two highlights for me. um yeah.
Fantastic. And finally, any message that you have for the fans around the world?
I think mostly just like thanks to everybody who has listened to us up until this point and for bearing with us. I feel like it's releasing this album has kind of taken a little bit longer than we wanted to. So we're super happy to finally be able to like get this out and release it. So just like a big like thank you to everybody who has listened, who has shared us, who has like come to see us. And we're super excited to be able to like give you guys this album now, and we hope you like it. We hope that we'll be able to see you at a show sometime soon. And if you're not from the West Coast, we hope to be able to come and play for you sometime soon.
Devan. And Devan, I want to thank you so much for giving me today this wonderful opportunity to have you on this interview. And
Yeah, no worries.
thank you for giving us the pleasure to listen to your awesome music. And like I said earlier, By the Moon and the Stars, a fantastic album from you guys. I'm really hoping for the release on August 2nd, and hopefully someday we'll meet on the road.
Yeah, totally. That would be awesome. I would be pretty excited to do that. I'm stoked to hear that. Thank you.
And you have a great evening out there and take care of yourself.
Yeah, thanks. You too.
Bye.